So when bass are up shallow and cover, my two favorite ways to catch them are on a creature bait and on a jig. Now the age-old question has always been, at least in my mind, which one of these two is better and which one fits in more bass fishing situations? The jig, it gets some big bites, or the creature bait that also has the potential to catch some giant bass. In today's episode, we're gonna do a little bit of an experiment using both the jig and the Texas rig on alternating banks as we go fishing today to see which one gets more bites and of course, which one catches the biggest bass. My name's Tyler and welcome to TRF. Well, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to TRF. My goal on this channel is to help you guys become better bass anglers, and as a part of that, I love doing challenge videos. Now, this one is not your standard Walmart Barbie rod 24-hour challenge. This here is a standard fishing challenge comparing two different lures that I think fit very closely to each other in terms of both size, shape, look, and application. And so you may look at these two and say, how the heck are these two any different? How is a bass going to tell the difference between a creature bait and a jig? Well, guess what? The bass can. As much trash as we give those fish for having little pea brains, they can actually surprise us with their level of intelligence and be very picky when it comes to which exact lure, the jig or the creature bait, they want to eat when it's presented up in their home, the shallow cover. Now, the precursor to this video is one that I made about a year ago where I compared in every possible way that I could a jig to a creature bait and told you guys which situations each one would be better at. And so if you guys are interested in watching that before you watch this video, click down in the description below or up here in the corner. But in the effort to not bore y'all, I'm not gonna go super deep into that, but as a rule of thumb, creature bait, generally just one singular soft plastic on a Texas rig. Today I have it on a flipping hook, a 4/0 flipping hook. I don't exactly know what brand this is, but of course I'll have all the tackle linked below for both of these combos in the description. I've got a 1/8 ounce tungsten weight with a 20-pound fluorocarbon, and that weight is bobber stopped. And on the jig, I have the Outcast Tackle Cage Fighter jig, 1/2 ounce version. Of course, both of these are the exact same color, or as close as I could get. Black and blue. Black and blue. This one's got a little, of course, a little bit of green pumpkin on there, but these are basically a matching presentation put oftentimes in the exact same places in the water column. But which one today will catch me more bass in today's situation, which is a very close to spawning time spring river situation. So you've got steep banks on both sides, you got overhanging trees. Those bass are moving up into that shallow cover to start spawning. So which one of these two am I gonna find in this situation is better to throw? I'm not saying the winner of this challenge per se, this comparison is going to be the winner all year round. I'm just saying for your general shallow cover springtime fishing, the creature bait or the jig, which one is going to be more efficient? Now I have a thought in my head that I think is going to be the creature bait just based on all the experience I've had in the past. I have just found the creature bait to get more bites than the jig does. The jig oftentimes catches bigger fish, but I think in terms of just catching fish for you guys, the creature bait is going to be the one. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go into this with a bias. I'm going to try to fish one bank with a jig, one bank with a Texas rig, alternate back and forth until I find one that is really working better than the other, and of course I'll fish that one for the rest of the day. So without further ado, let's hop on the water. We going? We filming? We're filming. We're gonna start on bank, stretch, whatever you call it, little area number one with the creature bait, as I talked about. I'm gonna start with this one. Again, my premonition is the bass in the spawn are gonna eat a creature bait more than a jig. We're gonna do this test all year round on a lot of different areas, docks, brush, that kind of thing. And today, as I talked about, is a river. The water is 64, so it's kind of mid spawn here. But water is too dirty to actually sight fish for them. And so I'm just fishing down the bank, gonna fish shallow areas, deeper areas, stuff with rocks, stuff with wood, and really try to get a gauge as to what the fish bite best this time of year. And if they bite something better than the other, you can bet your bottom dollar that pretty soon I'm gonna be just throwing that in this video. I don't expect the test to take very long, if I'm being honest. Oh, I had him. I had him right there. I had to set the hook backwards because I was in a very weird body position. We're not only gonna count fish in this challenge, we're gonna count bites as well, because you don't always land as many fish when you're flipping as you get bites. So I think bites is a better measure to take in order to know what lure is most successful in these areas. So we got one bite on the first little stretch. Like I said, 100 yards. I'm gonna try to go by 100 to 200 yard stretches and really try to make it even. I have a bias. Like I said, going into this, I think that the jig is not gonna win. I think the creature bait's gonna win, but we're gonna give it our fair share. We got another 100 yard stretch of honestly better looking water. We got more lay down trees here, but we're gonna see. Already I want my creature bait back. All right, I fished like 140 yards there with 0 bites on the jig. So we're gonna pull the trolling motor up, run up a little bit, and find our next stretch. Here we go, creature bait. Well, another stretch, no fish on the creature bait. So very interesting. I did run basically all the way up the river. So I don't know if the fishing's as good in this area as it is down there, but let me check the lighting. Good, we still look good. All right, jig time. No fish on the jig. I'm starting to think there's not as many fish in this area, but back to the creature bait. There's one. Oh, big one. Holy cow, holy cow. Stay on, stay on, stay on, stay on. He's got me pinned. He's got me pinned. You still on there, big girl? You still on there? Oh, I think she might have got off. We're gonna see though. We are gonna see. Well, there's another bite on the Texas rig, creature bait. That was like a 4 or 5 pounder. Man, I saw it. Okay, nope. We gotta cut this one. You're not getting this back. Time to retie. There's one. Oh gosh, that was a fish. They are not really eating it all that well right now. But that's 3 bites on the creature bait to 0 on the jig, as I was just getting to the end of this stretch that I was gonna fish. So I think the answer's there. I'm done with the jig. I love jigs. I catch a lot of fish on them. But in today's situation, both with getting snagged on this real snaggy stuff, like haven't fished around this kind of snaggy stuff before, and with the 3 bites to 0, haven't landed one yet. We're gonna go back to the creature bait all day so we can get you guys a fun video, because I think we figured out the answer to our question. You know what, I'm gonna give it 2 more little brush piles. No fish on the jig, we know our answer. We have our answer, folks. Creature bait's the way to go. Let's go ahead and smash on. You gotta be kidding me. Literally 1 stick later. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, they want the Texas rig. They don't want the jig. I love me a jig. They want the Texas rig. Crazy. Beautiful. On the bug, we're gonna go ahead and click that fish. Let's go. Ha ha ha. What I need to be doing, I just realized, is start an angler trip, which is that button on my hat. Because even though this is not a brand new body of water to me, I still do want to mark exactly where I catch these fish, because I'm not marking waypoints on my graph up there. So we're gonna go to fish mode. Can't let you see where I am. All right, we have marked a fish catch on the app, but I really just want to mark all my catches on here, so after a few trips out here of just fishing basically blind, just whatever looks good, I can see which areas hold more fish. Got him. Yes. No. Ah! I had to get in there fast before my boat trolled over him, and I probably didn't check my bait to make sure it was rigged right. Dang it. Ah. Well, hey, that fish was not very big, but that confirms there are fish all over these pieces of wood. Got him. I came back to that fish that I lost a minute ago, because I knew he'd probably be on a bed, and I'm assuming he was, or he just lives on that stick. That is what I love about fishing shallow rivers, that these fish will inhabit one tree. That's their tree. So if you miss them like I did, you can come back and get them. So we're gonna click Where's my button? There it is. Bing bong. Thank you, sir. And fish clicker. I knew it. I knew it was a fish. It's a nice one too. Hello, buddy. Hoo hoo hoo. That fish was hanging right along that log. Bring it in here. Bring it in here. Let's go. That's a 3-pounder. That's a 3-pound river stud. Hey, stop it. Look at that fish right there. Fatty McGee. Top of the mouth in that hook. Bada bing, bada boom. We're gonna put a few of these guys in the live well. I talked to a guy that drove past me, the guy in that Champion. He said the fish are not on beds yet, so I don't feel as bad keeping these fish in the live well for a picture, because pictures tell 1,000 words. I've got one. Oh gosh, that's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a nice one. You know what, not huge, but biggest of the day for sure. Oh, it's been hours since I last got a bite. And that fish right there, folks, is exactly where you should be. Oh, that's awesome. Look at how thick that fish is, boys and girls. That's a Texas river fish. That's not like a deep water shad-eating fish. That's a river fish. That's incredible. And again, that fish was right where it should be. Rock pile, brush pile, beautiful area. There's a fish. After I get an Instagram selfie and put this guy in the live well, or this girl, I don't know. She dang thick though. Gosh, there was one. That fish I scared the bejeebers out of. He was about 2 pounds. There he is. Oh gosh, that fish was not near as big as he let on by how hard he bit. Yay! Another one. Just a bunch of chunky 2-pounders, man. No giants yet, just besides that 3.5. Gonna go ding here, and of course click on my fish counter. Now, what I could be doing to count my 1,000 fish for the year is using the angler bullseye, but there's a lot of times when either I forget the bullseye at home, or I'm driving down the road and I see a pond and I stop and I don't have time to really start an angler trip. So that's why I'm doing the fish clicker. Also, fish clicker is not technology. It can't go bad on you. I've never had a bullseye go bad on me, but it's still technology. Oh man, that was 1,000% a bite. Like a gajillion percent. Ow, it hurts to set the hook into a stick. Gosh, that was like a thud. What the heck? Got him. That's a nice one. Hey, 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 that was cool. They're all up this bank. And I pitch right here and get one. That's a chunk. That's a chunk of a fish right there. Look at this thing. I can't even understand. These things are fat, man. Hope the camera can show that. They are stinking fatties. That's awesome. Man, what a time. Well, folks, after this cast here, it's gonna have to do it. We gotta head in for the day, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I hate doing scientific studies where I have the, end result predetermined in my head, and I tried not to have it with this one, but I think that I was right the whole time, in that in the spring, the bass just don't eat a jig, at least in my experience here in Texas, as well as they eat a creature bait. Especially when I'm dragging, a creature bait always wins, but even in flipping situations like this, these bass are gonna get up in the nasty, and a jig oftentimes cannot effectively be a good presentation for that area. So if y'all enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, because we were all about catching more fish and teaching you guys how to do it here on this channel. I gotta put the cameras up, head back to the house, see the wife, and we'll see you guys next time on TRF.